Record. Okay. Well, thanks for everyone who is on. I appreciate it. And hopefully, like say, more people will be jumping on because I know we usually have lots more than this, but I'm really excited for you guys tonight. If you guys don't know Emily, she is on the Clap for Yourself crew team. So she is under Marlena, who is her coach. And she has just been crushing the business. If you don't follow her on social media, she is obviously gorgeous, so cute to follow, rocks the business. And she just recently went diamond and she's had success with her business. She lives in Dallas with her fiance who is in professional baseball, so they obviously stay busy. She is a full-time interior designer. She has been coaching since April of this year, so just coming up on, I guess that's 6 months, right? And is almost lifetime diamond, so she's in her 5 weeks. 5th week of hold. So, I mean, she's right there. We know she'll get that. So she's seen tremendous success quickly in her business, and she has hit Success Club every single month since she signed up. So I am so excited. She's just going to share with you guys how she's doing what she's doing, and I'm just going to let her take it away, and I can't wait to hear what she has to share with us.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for having me on this call. I'm truly flattered. Morgan reached out to me on Instagram and asked me to speak on this call, and I was like, did you message the right person? You want me to talk on your team call? So thank you very much. I'm excited to be here and just kind of share what I've done up to this point to get me where I am. So I kept hearing my coaches and my team say, Emerald is a choice, diamond is a choice. And I was like, okay, great. I choose to be emerald. I choose to be diamond. Now what? And I think for me, the turning point was I told myself, I'm just going to stop waiting. I need to stop waiting for my girls and my coaches to get their shit together and hit emerald or even halfway to emerald. I needed to make the choice for myself and to just go for it because no one should hold you back from hitting your goals. So I just said enough was enough and I decided to go for it. I didn't leave my girls in the dust. I moved my business forward and then circled back to them because once you hit, of course, you hit diamond, but then you still have to hold for 6 weeks. So you want to be a strong diamond and you still want those girls to be there for you and feel supported. And I feel like once I did that, I was able to come back an even stronger leader for them and kind of implement what I just did in my business so that they could do that on their own and have the confidence to do that on their own. So anyways, I made the choice that my fiance, who was already on my left leg, he got me halfway to emerald. He was going to become emerald on my left leg. And my mom on my right leg, she was a coach because she drinks Shakeology every day. She was going to be emerald on my right leg. So I signed up 2 coaches under my fiance and I signed up 2 coaches under my mom, and I already had the rest of my legs full. So that got me to hold for diamond. So as soon as I do get a new coach, I always ask them right off the bat, when are you available for a one-on-one call? And on that call, usually within the week, I go over the whole 50 PV, 90 PV, Success Club points, challenge packs, that whole spiel so that they're set up for success right from the beginning and they know what they're supposed to be doing. And have them make a list of at least 20 people, their warm market, and see if anyone wants to do this with them as a coach. I always try to get them coaches on their team ASAP. You get your sister, your best friend to do this alongside you. One, not only is it way more fun to have someone close to you do this and go on the trips and run a business alongside you, but you're either halfway to diamond by getting one bestie to sign up, emerald, or you've already become emerald by getting 2 of your girlfriends to sign up and do this with you. And then another thing that I think is huge, obviously, is social media. And that's kind of where I go to get all of these coaches and all of my challengers. And I'll talk about my inviting style later too. But social media, first of all, is most likely where you're working your business. And if you're not on some sort of platform, you should be. And I talk about everything under the sun on my stories. Like my fiance's bare butt was in my stories today. So like nothing is off limits in my stories. You do not have to run your social media or business that way, but that's the person I am, and I share everything. Nothing's off limits. But I review their products, meal delivery services. I do clothing try-ons, you name it, I've done it. But the one thing that my followers can expect to be consistent in my stories are my workouts. Not every single day of the week. I don't want to push Beachbody down their throats, but most days of the week, I'm either posting my workouts to a fun music clip, or I'm talking about Shakeology or any of the other nutritional supplements. I keep my stories well lit. I keep my camera, like I try and hold it far away from my face. They're not looking up my nose. I try to keep things as easy to view and as pleasing to view as possible. And I ask myself a lot, would I follow me? Like, would I follow my Instagram? Is my feed pleasing to myself? Do I find myself skipping and tapping through my stories? If so, we've got a problem. But I would encourage you guys to ask yourself, would I follow me as a stranger? Not just like, you know, your Aunt Chrissy, like she has to follow you because it's just kind of a given rule. But would you follow yourself? Is everything aesthetically pleasing? Are you clearly explaining things? I tell my girls, like, okay, your boomerang was so fast. Like, I think I saw Shakeology in there, but like, you don't have to shake it so fast, or it's super dark. I don't even know what that was. So just making everything aesthetically pleasing as possible. And I think it's okay to kind of mimic certain styles of bloggers that you find yourself going to their page or going back to their page, because clearly they're doing something to keep you coming back. So figure out what that is and try to implement that into your page and into your lifestyle and into your, you know, beliefs. I think it's, yeah, they're doing something. So being open and honest too, that's me. I'm a little too open and honest, I think, but I think it goes a long way. I think, like I said, I review a lot of things, and if I don't like something, I'll say it, and I'll say, like, this is the worst effing dry shampoo I've ever tried. Don't buy it. And I tell people, or I say, like, oh my God, this is the best makeup I've ever used. Run to the store now and use it. And I think because I show both sides of it, my followers, they trust my, you know, my impressions of things. They believe that I'm going to tell the truth about products that I'm using. So I think that goes a long way. And if you don't really care for the fruit punch flavor of the pre-workout, then say that. Don't bash Beachbody, but say you love the lemon flavor. It's okay. And I think it's a little bit more believable from your followers' standpoint that you being 100% obsessed in love with everything that Beachbody has to offer. If you have like one little thing to say, like, oh, I prefer this over this, like that's normal. That's believable. Okay, I'm gonna go on to kind of like my inviting style, which everything I do happens on Instagram. I'm only on Facebook for like the coach groups and stuff. So Instagram is really the platform that I'm most comfortable with, and that's where I'm building my business right now. In a few years, we may, you know, switch it up. But so I've never personally cold called an invite, just messaged a random person and asked them to join me on my fitness journey. It works for a lot of people. I've seen it work, but I've never done that unless I've posted a poll on my stories and they responded, or I had a post and they you know, commented and showed some interest in that post. Then I'll reach out to them because they made an effort first. So because I don't cold invite, I have a lot of conversations going on in my Instagram messages at any given time, and I love that. I have made so many good friends on Instagram that I hope to meet someday. But I think that gives them a little sense of security that I am going back and forth having conversations with them. They start to trust my word. It doesn't seem like I'm just trying to get something out of them and then leave them high and dry. So my Instagram's or my inviting style on Instagram is really just creeping and then responding. So I will go to a random person's page, and if they have a group picture of a bunch of friends and they're all tagged, jackpot. I follow every single one of those girls that's tagged in that picture, because when I go to, follow Morgan, and she's like, who's this chick that's trying to follow me right now? Oh, she's friends with Kayla. So it's kind of like my in. So I like to go to people's stories once I've followed them and respond to those stories, because that gets me into their DMs without being creepy, without just, sliding into the DMs. So I respond to a story, and that directly puts me into their DMs. And it also puts my page on their radar. And it's like a little invitation to come on over and creep on me. And like, I've already done the hard part of starting whatever's going on here, so they feel more comfortable responding to one of my stories. And from there, the conversations start to flow. Now, if they continue responding to my stories, I know they're watching my stories. I know they see me working out, and I know they know I'm doing Beachbody. So eventually I'll do the, are you going to join me thing? And most of the time, that's all it is. It's me saying, are you going to join me? I'll randomly, that's my one random. I will say, are you going to join me? And that's it. And rarely do they say, what are you talking about? You want me to join you? What? Because they know that I'm a Beachbody coach. They know I'm working out. They obviously now know that I see them watching me. So it's like, oh yeah, most of the time it's oh yeah, I probably should, or yeah, I've been thinking about it. And then that's kind of my reeling, like I start rolling into the whole inviting process and telling them my whole spiel. But yeah, it's the whole spiel on Beachbody. It's, it's a year membership. You can stream it, yada, yada. And then I say in the same like hefty little message, it's got a bulk of information. At the very end, I say, what's your email? I'll send you the link. I don't say, oh, do you want to send me your email? And then I can maybe send you the link if you want to look at it. Like, that's okay. No. You're getting the link, so tell me what email I should be sending it to. I don't like to set it up for any no's. And I don't find that as me being pushy. It's just an easy way for them to not tell me no. If they really don't want it, they can say no. But what's your email? I'll send you the link. And it's kind of like me offering them like, hey, I've got something really great to share. I'll send it your way and you can look it over. And then the next part, I kind of take it girl by girl for inviting to coaching, and say they've expressed interest in Shakeology, in our previous messages. Then I'll very nonchalantly say, did you want me to sign you up as a customer or as a coach? And I'll say coach, because if they're, maybe they don't seem the type that would be a working coach. So I'll say coach. If I'm considering them as a discount coach, and I put quotes, as a coach, you get a 25% discount. You don't really have to coach. There's a $15 monthly fee, but it still saves me money because I'm getting Shakeology every month, and it does. And sometimes they'll say, I'll try the product first and make sure I like it, which totally makes sense. Or sometimes at this point, they trust me and they'll literally say like, yeah, whatever you think is better. So I'm like, okay, well, coach is better. So now you're on my team. And that's kind of my whole inviting style. And if it's someone that I'm like, oh gosh, she's freaking cute. Like, she would be so fun to have on our team. Then the whole, are you going to join me thing? It's more of a, are you going to join me as a coach than as a challenger? And sometimes I'm, I wouldn't say aggressive, but it's like, I need you to be on my team. Like, I need to go to Punta Cana with you next year. So when is this going to happen? And just very matter of fact about things. I think people appreciate that. There's no like, oh, if I do this, like, what are the hidden fees? What are the hidden this and that? Just be very upfront in the beginning, and that trust will build from the very beginning.
Yay, that's awesome. I know I was just literally talking to Kayla about that this morning because she was like, she's like, this coach would be so perfect. How do I not come off as a psycho? And I was like, honestly, come off as a psycho because then we need them. And it's just how it is sometimes. Like it's flattering, right? Like
I think it would be very flattering. Yeah.
We just can't
and honestly, so this was my experience becoming a coach when I first got signed up. I had watched Marlena for so many months, and I knew I wanted to do the workouts, but in my head, I guess I never even saw it as an option for me to become a coach. I didn't even think I don't know what she was doing, as a coach, but for me, it wasn't even possible. So when she mentioned that she wanted me to be a coach on the team, I was like so excited, like, oh, it's a thing that I can do. And she was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to change your account now. I'm like, do it, girl. Like, and I was waiting for her to do it for me. And finally she sent me the form to switch. But I have to remind myself, like, sometimes there's girls looking at it that way. Like, they want me to ask them. They want to be a part of this. So I try not to think of it being pushy or salesy or anything like that ever. Like, this has been such an amazing opportunity for me, and I'm so thankful for it. So I know that there are other girls out there viewing it the same way that I did.
Oh, that's so true. It's like the best opportunity. We can't take it off the table for someone.
No.
And so often people we can talk about it in our stories and say, like, come do this with me. And they don't actually, it's not sinking in that they can do this. That's
like, you're talking to you. Like, yes, you sign up in spot number 8, on my stories. I really am asking you.
Yeah, that's so true. So as far as, I know you kind of went over your inviting process and a little bit of your, like, how you add to your network and stuff. Have you been growing organically, or do you use a service or anything like that for growth?
I do not use a service. It's all been organic, and I really think it's me starting conversations on Instagram constantly. That's where it all happens for me. I follow a ton of people, and in hopes that maybe, a quarter of them will follow me back. And then maybe like once a month, I'll go to my stories and I'll see who's watching me. Especially like if I post a workout video, I'm going to see who watched that story, and I'll message them directly. And I'll say, hey, I noticed that you've been watching my stories. Just wanted to say hi. And that's it. I'm just like, that's me starting a DM conversation. Nothing regarding Beachbody, but sometimes they'll say like, oh yeah, I've been watching your workouts, because I'm responding to, and it'll show like the tab of what story I'm responding to because they were watching that one. So yeah, it's all in the messages for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so as far as, obviously you've built to Diamond, so would you say, I know you explained a little bit, but just for my girls listening who are also like maybe trying to push for Diamond or build for that, I know you give them the option of the coach, but do you feel like pretty much with, like, what do you think your ratio is as far as like coaches that you're signing directly up for the discount, or like, do you have some that have been challengers and transitioned over, or do you're like, I'm building for Diamond, so I'm inviting people, to be a discount, like you're going right for that?
Yeah. So most of the time, if they're signing up as a coach, it's right off the bat. I have had girls switch from challenger to coach once they get into the accountability group and they realize they really love it and it is such a supportive community. But I have had times where I'm like, crap, I need more active coaches on this leg. And so I go into my coach office and I see everybody who's on Shakeology or a Performance Stack, or anyone who's ever ordered it before. And I'll say, hey, I can switch you to a discount coach. You're drinking Shakeology. Maybe they're not even doing the workouts, but you're drinking Shakeology. You might as well get the discount on it, save on the shipping, save on the product. And then that way I try and like knock out a ton. And most of the time, a few of them will switch over, and it's like, oh, why didn't I ask you months ago?
Yeah, that's that's such a good feature, you guys. If you didn't know that the subscription feature is in your office, that's something that is kind of newer, and it's amazing. Just like she said, you can see everybody that's getting those products. So yeah,
That's
Tessa.
kind of how I go about my inactive coaches as well, because sometimes they don't even know that they're inactive. And I'll be like, oh, let me walk you through it. If you go to teambeachbody.com, this is how you can set it up to come monthly. So you don't have to manually order it every month. And then I know that I've got a active coach every single month, and they know that they're getting their product every single month.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Tessa was just praising, like, I love that too, how you guys, it's such an easy way to, once you figure out your niche and like the type of people you're going to vibe with, just like Emily was saying, like they're like people she's just like, I want to hang out with you. Then it's easy to get into their story or into their DMs through their stories, because they're going to be posting something on their stories that relates to you. And so it's just a way simpler way. I love that you shared that. So does anyone have any questions for Em, like as far as just inviting? I know we'll go like 5 minutes before I kind of ask a little wrap up question here. If anybody just has any questions for her as far as kind of what she's doing or what seems to be working. I know she shared great tips for us. So anybody, this is like that awkward moment where everyone just stays quiet.
This is the you, we're talking to you.
Yeah, you. You're the one.
Okay, I think I really started navigating towards Instagram when I moved to Texas. I'm originally from California, moved here last year. And I'm like, I don't know freaking soul here. So I kind of poured out to Instagram and was like, I need friends. And then that kind of got me, and then that led me to Beachbody. So it's been a great thing. Sorry, Tessa, were you saying something?
Oh, yeah, I just kind of had a question. So we were talking about like using a service or growing your following organically. And I found out, I thought everybody used the service. So I didn't know that people even did it organically. But I'm very much I will follow you and continue to follow you if you follow me. Like if you're still sticking around, then I will stick with you and I'll keep trying to reach out to you. So as you're growing your following, like, is there any way that you keep track of the people that follow you and you following them back?
Yes. So there's an app called Cleaner that I use, and that I'm allowed to or able to see a mutual follow. So if I'm following them and they're not following me back, because I'm following like tons of people every week, I'll go through about once a week and I clean it up. And if it's not a mutual follow where I'm following them, but they're not following me, I then can unfollow them from that Cleaner app. So that kind of helps my, the ratio, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've heard about that app before, but I think there was something going on where people said it didn't work anymore.
Yeah, does it still work for you, Em?
Yeah, I used it yesterday. There's a limit.
I think it's just hit or miss with Instagram being kind of wonky these days, but that's just Instagram being, I feel like they don't want us to grow businesses on their platform. Lame Instagram.
Yeah.
Cool. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, well, we're right at about 30 minutes, so I'll just wrap up. Emily, if you can give any advice to, okay, I'm not frozen. Sorry, my internet is terrible. Any advice for like newer coaches who are maybe a little scared to step out or don't necessarily see the vision of like growing a team right now? Maybe they have like diamond on their mind, or they're like, I want to do this, but I don't know even like how to get one foot in front of the other. Kind of just like, you've done this and you've grown a significant business and have seen success like within half of a year. So if you just have any advice as far as like what to say to them to just like go for it, we would love to hear that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I didn't start with a huge following on Instagram. I started really with my warm market. Like I said, my fiance and my mom got me to diamond. And I mean, they got me to emerald, they got me to diamond. So it's okay if you're starting with your best friend and your cousin and your aunt, like it's still a business. It can be a family business. There's nothing wrong with that. And also, I am not the epitome of fitness. I'm not. And I don't even think that that's why people, I don't think people come to me because I am the epitome of fitness. I'm not. I think they come to me because I'm a normal chick just trying to get things tight again, trying to get my nutrition right. Yes, I still go to Chick-fil-A and I still show that. So it's kind of a reachable goal for other girls like me. Like, okay, she goes to Starbucks almost every single day, but she's doing these workouts and 80% of the time her nutrition is on. So don't think that you have to be perfect. You don't have to be this perfect, beautiful blogger 100% of the time. Like, yes, keep it aesthetically pleasing, like clean backgrounds, brush your hair once a week, but just be you, and the people who flock to you, that's going to be your people. If they're not, you don't want them on your team anyways.
I love that. Yay. Finish life. Yeah. Perfect. Well, Lord's food, Haley. I can't. Well, cool. I'm so glad that you got on and talked to us. I know you've just been rocking it, so I'm so happy for everyone just to kind of hear what you're doing and get some tips from you, and hopefully everyone will have something great to take away from this. I know I did. It was just awesome to hear from you. So unless anyone else has any other questions or anything, we'll get we can stop